Napakalaki po ng relation nito, Mr. Chair. If we really wanted, if we are really serious to lower the electricity in this country, kailangan po nating i-implement po yung EPIRA. Nandun po yung sinasabing retail competition and open access. So, alam po ba ninyo kung ilan ang nakaka-graduate or migrate from the captive market of the para contestable market na sila? Wala naman kayong report. What about aggregation? There are no rules on aggregation. Pagkatapos niraise po namin ang issue way noong pa, you suddenly adopted a modality you call performance-based rate. Mr. Chair, before we had EPIRA, ang ating pong modality is RORB. This is return on base rate, which is more practical because everything else is based on capex. Kung ano po yung gastos ninyo, doon tayo kikita. Pero doon sa performance-based na po kung ano lang pinlano nila, hindi pa po natin napatunayan kung talagang yung plano natupad. Doon na po natin ibebase ang singil. Kaya ang taas-taas po. And we need to also look into the system loss. Magkano po yung system loss? Meralco, maybe 10%. Electric cooperatives, maybe 20%. Ang taas po. Bakit hindi po ito unahin natin? Why are we focusing our attention on the transmission is only 3%?
Thank you very much, Honorable Barbarella. Ano po, napaganda ko ng inyong
Mr. Chairman,
inyong mga tanong.
Mr. Chairman,
Honorable,
Mr. Chair, in the support, clarification, Mr. Chair.
Naklaruhin lang po natin ito. Meron pa akong isa pang presentation.
Yes,
patapusin po natin muna yung isang presentation, then lahat ng mga nakalista.
Point of clarification, Mr. Chairman.
Maayos po yung ating presentation.
Mr. Chairman, point of clarification and point of information. And hindi po naman natin dinidepensa ang Transco. But tama po si Congressman Marcoleta that we have to follow kung ano sinasabi ng ating EPIRA. And specifically, EPIRA law, binabanggit po yan sa Section 34F. Para po determine yung pong rate base, no? Transco and distribution utility, ang sinasabi, shall not be allowed to include management inefficiencies like cost of project delays. And that's the reason why Transco, binabanggit po nila yung mga delays ng mga project. And it is the right of the Transco na sabihin po sa atin, ano itong mga proyekto na nagdi-delay po. And that's the reason why sinusuportahan po ng EPIRA law under Section 34F that the management inefficiencies and cost of the project delays must be considered and must be updated by the Transco.
Thank you very much, Honorable Dan Fernando.
Mr. Chair,
We will now proceed.
Mr. Chair, before we do, because you gave point of clarification, so it's my time siguro. Just one point clarification of Mr. Chair. I think I discussed already last time.
Honorable President Jesus, patapusin po natin muna yung IMAP.
Mr. Chair,
I will entertain all the questions.
Mr. Chair,
Because lahat po point of clarification, hindi mo ko matatapos.
Mr. Chair, last isa lang Mr. Chair, kasi misleading sinasabi ng delay. Pakisabi niya kung ano ba reason ng delay? Is it all probably by the GCP or ERC rin?
Maybe that's already a question. Yes, that is already a question for interpretation, and I suggest that you are already on the list, Honorable President Jesus. So now I will now recognize IMAP. IMAP, may you please prepare for your. We may now deliver your presentation. We're taking notes. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Can you please, your attorney?
I'm Attorney Richard Nellepat, Mr. Chairman, also President of Independent Electricity Market Operator of the Philippines, or IMO.
Okay, please proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and good afternoon to the honorable members of this committee. So last December 23, we were directed by this committee to prepare a study or a report on cost impact of delayed projects. Considering the data that are in our possession, what we prepared, Mr. Chairman, is to present to the committee a comparative study of the market price impact of completed transmission line projects. So we focus on 4 completed projects of the NGCP from the last 2 years, particularly, well, actually 3 years. We focused on the Mindanao Visayas Interconnection Project, or MVIP, the Mariveles Hermosa and the Hermosa San Jose transmission lines. Cebu Negros Panay Backbone, or CNP3, and the Cebu Bohol Interconnection Project, Mr. Chairman. So maybe request first. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So next slide, please. So these are the considerations or the assumptions that we use in this project. So the target completion dates were based on the TDP 2020-2040 submitted by NGCP, approved by the DOE. We used the actual energization date reports coming from NGCP, and we also used the average price, the actual average price based on the WESM market results. Next slide, please. Mr. Chairman, I just would like to emphasize that this price that we're going to discuss are prices of electricity in the market only. Now, at the average right now, only 20% of the consumption, electricity consumed in the system comes from the market. So this is only representative of that portion. And this is only generation cost. Okay. We have identified market price drivers. So, of course, basically, at the end of the day, price is determined by the interaction between supply and demand. Moderated maybe by transmission lines. So these are the price drivers. For supply, there has to be available supplies, of course outages as well taken into consideration, the offer price. For demand, economic activities and the seasonality. The season actually affects demand levels. Transmission lines also affect prices in terms of congestion and also outages. From time to time, transmission lines go into outages. So next slide, please. The first project that we have considered, Mr. Chairman, is the Mindanao Visayas Interconnection Project. So as I said, the reference is the Transmission Development Plan. It was supposed to be completed on December 2020, but the actual energization happened on May 2023. So disconnected Mindanao and Visayas. We have considered the prices, the average prices from January 2021 to April 2023. That is the period without the energization, before energization. Ito po kasi dapat na-energize 2020 per report. So for that period, the average prices in Luzon were 6.49 for Visayas, this is 7.39 for Mindanao. For the billing period, February 2023 to April 2023. February lang po sa Mindanao because the Mindanao WESM only started in January 2023. The price before MVIP was 6.17. Now when the MVIP was energized on May 2023, the prices from May 2023 to December 2024 with MVIP are now 5.67 in Luzon, 6.85 in the Visayas, and 4.87 in Mindanao. So yun po yung average prices. Now, we got the difference without and with. And then, meron po table dyan which says monthly average quantity, spot quantity, ito po yung binibili sa WESM. For Luzon, that is 618,512 megawatt hours. For Visayas, 155,643 megawatt hours. For Mindanao, it's 140,788 megawatt hours. So we multiply the price difference in this monthly average spot quantity, we get the potential price reduction. So yung price reduction po is 1.99 for Luzon, 1.77 for Visayas, 1.19 for Mindanao. But yung cumulative price reduction, potentially, could have been 1.2 billion in Luzon, 274 million in the Visayas, 167 million in Mindanao. Now, if you multiply that with the number of months from December 2020 to May 2023, which are around 20 months, the potential cumulative price reduction for that period is 34.5 billion pesos in Luzon, 7.6 billion pesos in Visayas, and 4.7 billion in Mindanao. Next slide, please. The next project we consider is the Mariveles, Hermosa and Hermosa San Jose transmission lines. Now, there's a map that Mr. Chairman showing where these lines are going to. Yung isang line po was connected all the way to Tayabas, the other one went to San Jose. This line actually was instrumental in allowing the new power plants constructed in Bataan to be dispatched and transmitted. So, target completion date nito based on the TDP 2020-2040 is May or December 2020. The actual energization happened on April 2022. So comparing the prices, the average prices from January 21 to May 2023 without the transmission lines, and from June 2023 to December 2024 with this completed Mariveles San Jose corridor, the price difference is 1 peso and 10 centavos for Luzon. This is also only in the island of Luzon. Now, if we use the spot settlement price, that will be a difference of 1 peso and 47 centavos. And if we multiply that with the monthly average spot quantity for the period from the target completion to actual energization, the potential average monthly price reduction cumulative is 923 million pesos, Mr. Chairman, or equivalent to 26.7 billion pesos for 29 months. Next slide, please. The third project we considered is the Negros Panay, Cebu-Negros Panay or CNP interconnection project number 3. Per the TDP of 2020, TDP 2020-2024, the target date is December 2021. The actual energization happened on April 2024. And the computed price difference is 1 peso 90 centavos for Cebu, 1 peso 16 centavos for Negros, and 0.09 or 9 centavos in Panay. That was during the period when there was an N-1 contingency imposed in the Panay subregion. However, after NDCT implemented their SIPs, the prices in Panay went down. So if we compare the effective spot settlement prices, the prices in Cebu, the difference is 2 pesos 65 centavos. For Negros is 2 pesos 86 centavos. And for Panay is 2 pesos and 42 centavos. Multiply that with the monthly average spot quantity, the potential monthly price reduction cumulative average in Cebu is 136.2 million, 142.42 million in Negros, and 88.8 million in Panay. For 27 months, that translates to 3.6 billion in Cebu, 3.8 billion in Negros, and 2.4 billion in Panay. Next slide, please. The next project, or the last project we considered, Mr. Chairman, for this report is the Cebu-Bohol Interconnection Project. The Cebu-Bohol, this project was targeted for completion last December 2021 based on the TDP of 2020-2040. And the actual energization happened on September 2024. The price difference, the computed price difference based on the spot settlement price is 1.24, Mr. Chairman. And multiplying that with the monthly average spot quantity of 8,964 megawatt hours, we get a potential cumulative monthly price reduction of 11 million for Bohol. For 32 months, that translates to around 354 million. Now, the observations that we have gathered from this study is that transmission lines is only one of the factors affecting price, but the most important contribution of completed transmission projects, basically, Mr. Chairman, is the improvement of supply reliability and the potential to transmit cheaper power from available resources. So, Mr. Chairman, that concludes our presentation. Thank you for your attention. Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much for your brief presentation. Since the subject matter is NGCP, today present is the President, Mr. Anthony
Nilalive ka din kasi.
we
Mas
invite
mataas
him
yung
several
follow mo.
times. And
Mr. C intended to attend today's proceeding after his pre-scheduled going appointment.